polymer is any substance made of large molecules. Polymers are made up of many long chains of molecules all strung together, and sometimes this can get very complicated. Isn't that right, Matthew?
That's right, James. Polymers can come in many different forms. Cellulose, starch, nylon, and many other things. You get the picture, right?
Yeah. And there's a certain type of polymerization called additional polymerization. This episode, we're going to learn about that and many more things about polymers. Additional polymerization is where small molecules join together to form larger molecules. They do this by adding on double bonds. An example of this would be ethane. Polymers are used to make different types of plastics. There are two types of plastics, thermosetting and thermosoftening. Thermosetting plastics have strong bonds within the molecular chains, while thermosoftening plastics have weak intermolecular forces, so that makes them more easily moldable and breakable and more flexible. While thermosetting plastics, like this one over here, it's a lot harder to break. Polymers also don't degrade well. Now this is a good thing, well kind of, because you don't want your plastic bag to just break in the middle of shopping. But it's also bad because it's bad for the environment. But you know, you have to make some sacrifices. Oh god, Matthew's dead! James! No! You're alive, James! That's right, I'm alive because I used a polymer.
A polymer? I thought those were used for weak things like nylon and polyester.
Actually, polymers are used for something called Kevlar, which is an incredibly strong material that stops bullets.
That's fantastic!
Well, see, there are a lot of unusual types of polymers. There's something called polyisobutylene, or elastomer. Now, this is used to, it's an impermeable rubber, which means it can absorb air, which is pretty good. Let's talk about nylon for a second. Now, nylon's a kind of lightweight fabric that I mentioned before. Now, let's just check the index here. Now, apparently, nylon's a lightweight fabric that also wind and waterproof. Nylon is widely used to make jackets and sports bags. Pretty impressive, don't you say? Just for a polymer? Wow. The main linking group in nylon is something called an amine bond. Here's a diagram. Now, there's something called condensation polymers. Now, this isn't usually something that anyone would know. Excuse me, sir. Do you know what a condensation polymer is? No. Damn right you don't. Because it's not really something that everyone would look up on the internet. Now, let's talk about condensation polymers for a second. Let me just get my reference book. Bag boy! Bag boy! A little slow today, eh, bag boy? Sorry. Now let's see what it says here. Now apparently, condensation polymer are any kind of polymer formed through a condensation reaction, where molecules are joined together, losing small molecules as byproducts such as water or methanol, or as opposed to addition polymers, which involve the reaction of unsaturated monomers, which means double bonds. That's the end of today's episode. Bye, boys. Well, that's the end of James Grosse, the Science Guy for now. Join us next time when we talk about molecules.